What is going on, guys? We are back with yet another classic NHL 2004, and we are back asking yet again, was NHL 2004 better than NHL 25? And right off the bat, so I must admit, I did not really play much of this game. Definitely didn't play much of it. I think I actually played the PC version of the game, and so yeah, I'm very limited. I was young. I was like 6 years old when this came out, so I didn't really have much memory of this game. So this is pretty fresh to me. Unfortunately, I can't play the menu music for you guys. It sucks. Copyright YouTube, always fun, but I do want to show you guys the soundtrack because my god, the soundtrack, dude. Oh my goodness. Just from what I saw, was nuts. So you had, would it be here? Where do they have it? Do they? Come on, they gotta show the soundtrack off a little bit, no? Oh, maybe not. Anyway, it's a crazy soundtrack, rock heavy, the way that you want it for a hockey game. Fantastic. With this background, I did not know that this was the background that you had for the game. This is amazing. This is even better than '06. I got to give '04 credit. This I love NHL '06's background, but this tops it and I can see why. So a lot of people say that this is the best NHL in the series, and man, it's kind of getting off to a good start here. I can kind of see why people really enjoy it. Like, this is hockey, man. This is, I mean, look, you got Brian Leach just skating crossovers in the background. So I picked my favorite team as the Rangers. So it's one of those where whatever your favorite team is, they kind of give you the background with, the star player skating around, and you got the logo back there. Like, this looks really good. This looks really good. And again, to think that this was NHL 2004, this is what they were doing in 2004, man. 2004, they had this kind of menu. This is, I'm taking this menu over 25s all freaking day. Like, this is awesome. This is a hockey game menu. This is what you, especially with the music too. This is perfect. They need to go back to something like this. I don't understand why with the newer games they just refuse to have this type of menu. The menus now are boring, they're gray, they're telling me that it's going to be a boring game. Whereas this one, it's like, man, like, look at this. Look at this. It's simple, but it works. It works. It feels like hockey. Perfect menu. I love that. We're gonna do a play now game. Love the sound. I mean, look at that. It's old. This is older, right? So it has that older retro feel to it. But it, you know, it works. It works, and there's color. It feels like just like you're about to get into a game that you're really gonna enjoy. I love that. Love that. I will say this: the sounds of the menu maybe aren't as great as '06's were, but it's all right. We'll let it slide. That's pretty cool actually. You kind of hear the skating. You hear that? So yeah, that's pretty cool. The skating sounds. I'll give him that. All right, let's see. All right, we'll try medium here, make it a little more difficult. I don't think we'll play the whole game. Let's play a little bit so you guys can see what it looked like, felt like, and see what their presentation is like. I don't think music should play. I freaking hope not. I don't think it will. So we'll get this started here. I love that. Love the little goal horn when you start. Oh, that's freaking awesome, man. And just this again, the little details for these games, man. Like, listen, look, they got Madison Square Garden in the background, man. Look at that little shot of MSG. That's so freaking cool. This I loved. I got a little peek at this. You just see a little. So normally music would be playing, but I turned it off. But yeah, this with the music, the little shots, the players playing. Like, look at that. Like, this is the stuff that I'm talking about with the current NHL games and with just their lack of just that. something. That's something that makes you feel like, wow, they really cared about this game. They wanted you to really feel what it feels like to be at a hockey game, to be at the commentary. Dude. Dude, that commentary is, I've talked about this before at the current commentators. I'm sorry. Oh my God. I might get cooked here, by the way. I don't know what medium difficulty is going to be like. I might get destroyed here. But, the new commentators, I don't like that they're not actual NHL commentators. The only one that you have that works in the NHL is Ferraro. And I'm sorry, Ray Ferraro in the video game, not fun to listen to. Definitely not fun to listen to. And some people would say in the real games too. But, yeah, like just listening to Jim Hewson and Craig Simpson back then, like the packaging of this game, man. So gameplay wise, it is pretty similar to NHL 06, which is why like this feels very similar to 06, definitely. Let's see what happens here. Look at that. Look at that. I'm sorry, man, but that presentation for its time, this was light years ahead. Light years ahead. I hope we don't have any problems with the emulator that I'm using right now and the game doesn't crash or anything. But yeah, man, this is awesome, dude. I could see why people love this game so much. This is right. This is just like 06. And I could see why people make the argument that this one definitely would be over 06 for them. I still hold 06 and I love that one. That's my favorite, but this is really good. It feels good. It feels smooth. For no skill stick, just for a button-only game, like this is great. The skating's clean. Skating is very clean. A little bit slower than 06. Which I'm not crazy about it. It's a little bit slower. Oh, Pavel Bure. Oh my God. What a team. This is the Rangers team from the dark ages in the early 2000s. They were so bad. Bobby Holik. Oh my goodness. But yeah, like for its time, I'm sorry. This is way, way ahead of where 25 is today, man. If you gave the team that made this game the capabilities that the team that's making the NHLs today have, if you gave this team those capabilities, I think they would make they did make one of the greatest games of all time back then, but my God, can you imagine having the capabilities that they have today back then? Like, man, this really does feel like a hockey game. You could see, man. It's a shame too, it's a shame like seeing where the game is today. And I talk about it a lot with just the differences and the little things, right? It comes down to the little things with these games. And the reason that I hold these games in the high regard that I do is because, again, you could feel it. You could feel it when you play it, that they genuinely cared about how you felt when you played this game. They wanted you to really feel like you were at the rink, whether as a player or a bystander. That's how it felt loading up on one of these games. Whereas I feel like they've lost touch with that today. And it doesn't, again, the games now, they're grayed out, they're boring, they're lifeless. The commentary's not the same. It's very Gen Z, arcadey. Ooh, nice goal. Look at Parrish lighting me up. And look at that. That commentary to me feels like a real NHL commentary team, which, why? Because it's a real NHL commentary team. Like, that's why. Yeah, you can listen to them, and it really feels the way it sounds, the way that you want it to. It plays the way that you want it to. This is what, to me, this is what a hockey game should play like, man. And the fact that you can log on to this game 21 years later and really not feel that left out, like it doesn't feel like a relic, whereas some games today you go back playing, you're like, yeah, this is a relic, and I don't know what they were thinking back then. But this doesn't feel like a relic. Like, this feels like something you could really play. You could really play, have fun on, enjoy 21 years later. And that, to me, is something that is the tell of a great game. Is the tell of a game that has made an impact, that it can last. Like, I don't know about you guys, but if you have played any of the recent NHLs, which from NHL 20 on, like from NHL 20 to 25, is there a game in that? Look at this stuff. I mean, that's awesome. That is just these little things. The little things add up. I'm telling you guys, the little details, they're everything. But just looking at the games today from 20 on, is there anything there that you can look at and say, okay, if you play this game 20 years later, you'll look back on it fondly. That to me is the way that you can measure a game like this against a game from today, right? Like, where will it stand? How will people look at it 20 years from now? My feeling is, for people that played this game in its prime, in its heyday, that yeah, back then people were looking at it just as fondly as they are now. And it wasn't just it wasn't nostalgia. Like, people were genuinely enjoying the game back then. And there was no, I was younger, but I know for a fact, at least, I started playing 06, and I definitely have very, very strong memories of the early 2010s for this series. NHL 10, NHL 11, all of them. I play every single one of them. And I remember, like, how people felt about the games back then. There was never like this just large group of people that were like, "Oh my god, it's the same thing every year. It sucks." Like, that started really picking up mid 2010s into especially now. A game like that, like, people weren't complaining like that. And if it was a very small group of people, because most people were busy just enjoying the game. I wish I was doing a little bit better. I don't think I'm going to be able to score. Medium difficulty is a little too tough here, guys. Nice shot. That's a snipe. That's a snipe. Rangers also sucked back then, though, so I'm going to use that as an excuse. But yeah, there was just, I feel like there wasn't as much complaining with people that were playing the game. Like, people were just too busy enjoying it. Look, I played NHL 06. I was young, but I loved every second of it. Every second of it, man. Like, there was just, it was so good. And I feel like that's what most people were feeling back then. And look, maybe there is a new generation of gamers that look at NHL 25 and they look at it the same way that I looked at 06 and how people looked at 04 and 94 and whatever you started playing with. But I also see way more people today complaining about the game, the state that the game is in, and just this lack of interest, and like the fact that NHL games die out so quickly. Like, it used to be like you would get to like the summer, and that's when NHL kind of just, all right, nobody's playing NHL anymore. That's it. Now I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like you get to like December, January, and these games are kind of just, they're deserted and people just don't care. And and you know what I think that is? It's the game wasn't there. There was no intention behind it. What was the intention behind making the game? Like, all right, let's make it basically exactly the same as last year. Don't take any risks. Just keep it the same and whatever, make it a little shinier, and I don't know, throw in one little minor change that isn't really going to make that big of a difference in the long run. That's how it feels every year now. It's like they're not taking any chances. They're not trying to make the game more pleasant, more fun, more like feeling more like a hockey game, really. Like, this again, this just, God, this will feel, I can't believe it runs this good this 20 years later. But yeah, really, it all comes back down to, at least with the new games, with 25, there's just that lack of care and that lack of, I don't know, is it ambition from the developers, or just, it just doesn't feel like these games did. you can see it, and I'm gonna be revisiting a bunch of these games and playing a bunch of these games, and I'm sure that I'll be reaching very similar conclusions. But it's just because it's true. It's true. The people making the NHL games today, they don't. I don't know if it's because of corporate pressure. I don't know if corporations just don't give them the same room that they had back then. Whatever the case may be, or is it they just don't, the people making the games just genuinely don't give a crap anymore. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just giving you my opinion as someone who has been playing this franchise forever. I'm getting lit up right now. Lit up. I don't think I'm going to score. But hey, we're having fun anyway. That's okay. We're still having fun. That was a snipe. Snipe. But yeah, it's just it sucks to see a franchise that so many people have fallen in love with, myself included, really just be disappointed year after year and let down year after year. And it's like they just keep getting further and further away from what made this series so good. It's like, I'm just getting run out the building. I'm getting run out the building, boys. Holy, you know what? We got to get pucks deep here. All right, hold on. We're going to get it deep. Yep. Get a forecheck going. All right, maybe not. Maybe not. I should have put it on easy. Oh my god. Oh, almost another one. Yeah, the Rangers of the 2000s just weren't it, guys. Wasn't it? Anyway. All right, let's get out of this period. I'm going to get out of this game because I don't think I'm going to score. Oh my god. Uh-oh. I had a little technical difficulty there. Sorry, guys. All right. There goes the period. We're going to back out the game and see if there's anything else really to look at. Take a look. I know a lot of people love the GM mode for this game. Yeah, these menus were so much better. They were so much better. I don't think there were too many game modes. Yeah, simple stuff, nothing too crazy. I heard the GM mode was great, one of the more innovative ones. Maybe we'll visit that at some point. But I just wanted to show you guys the gameplay a little bit and give you some of my thoughts on the game. And look, this is a classic. Like, this is absolutely a classic. And you should play it if you haven't. I see why people hold it in the regard that they do. It really does hold up all these years later. 21 years later, this holds up. And I'm telling you guys, I could see myself playing this game for hours and hours and hours and not get bored and just really enjoy it for what it was. And there's no online mode, there's no EASHL, there's no Ultimate Team, but you didn't need it. You didn't need it because the gameplay was good. The developers cared. They cared about what they were making. They wanted to make sure that when you paid them whatever the price, I'm assuming it was $60 back then. I don't know. Maybe it was a little bit cheaper because there was a time that they were like 40, I think. But whatever you were paying for a game back then, they wanted to make sure that when you paid that your hard-earned money for a game, that you were getting the best possible product. You were getting the just the most fun game that you could get. And you could feel it and it mattered back then. It mattered with a game like this. You had to deliver. There was no, all right, we can kind of like half-ass the game, make some mistakes, and then we'll just patch it, we'll fix it along the way. Like, no, you had to have a game that was ready to play and good on launch day. And it's like that pressure doesn't exist anymore because with 25 and with the games recently for NHL, they don't take chances anymore because it's like studios don't want, that pressure of, oh my God, the game was really bad because they did this one thing. They took this one risk and it flopped. So no risk. We're not taking risk. We're not going to try to change anything. No, just keep pumping out the same thing every year. Don't change anything. No, that's how it feels, at least as someone who's been playing for a long time. They just don't take chances anymore. They don't want to take chances, and that limits your ability to create a game that is going to be groundbreaking. And there might be some duds again because it's a risk. And until NHL starts taking risks again in how their game looks, how it feels, how it plays, until they start taking risks again, we're gonna keep getting NHL 25s. We're gonna keep getting NHL 24s, 23s, 22s. It's gonna be the same thing every year until you get a group of developers that say, all right, we need something to change. Enough is enough. I don't know if we'll ever get there. I hope we do. I really hope we do. So we get a game like this again, but I don't know. I'm skeptical. Anyway, just want to share some thoughts with you guys. I hope you enjoyed the NHL 04 gameplay. I would love to hear where you rank NHL 04 in your collection of NHL games. Did you play it? If you did, is it your favorite? Do you think it's better than NHL 25? Do you think NHL 25 is better? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe. It goes a long way. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you again soon.